Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Annika Fairwild. I'm so glad to have you here. Today I'm going to be talking you through every book that I read, every film that I watched, every TV show that I watched, and also some random YouTubers and specific YouTube videos that I recommend. I think you can tell a lot about a person based off their media recommendations, so these are mine. I really hope you take at least one of these to read/watch. I do one of these at the end of every month. I am filming this one late because I've been very busy at the moment. Okay, let's get into books. The first book is Nocturnal Witchcraft by Konstantinos. The blurb reads, "The powers of night nocturnal energies differ from those of daylight, and witches have long known how to take advantage of the lunar powers and the spiritual entities that prefer the darkness for particular magical operations." This innovative book explores special techniques for working with the night powers and the subtle effects of dark symbols. You will learn to find your inner quiet, read minds through the ether, dream for change, create and use thought networks, alter reality through simple spells and rites, and use the powers of magnetism and suggestion. You will explore the mysteries of death and speak to the dead. The dark balances the light. Do not fear it, but equally embrace it. As you can probably guess, it's about witchcraft in the dark. It would be great for some gothic lovers. I'm a gothic lover. I don't really dress very gothically, but big fan of it, guys. Keep it up. I think it has really great advice on scrying, especially the section on scrying in the dark, because this is something that I've been doing for my whole life pretty much. You know when you close your eyes and you can see the visual snow or like the patterns? You can use that to scry. Similarly, if you just use like a dark patch, a dark area in your vision, that can also be used to scry. It also has great information on glamour and magnetism as well, which are topics that I really enjoy, even without the added occult aspect. I didn't really like the categorization system for individuals that was used in this book. It's an alignment, something like this, which is light, dark, good, evil, and I feel like there's a bit more nuance to it, if we're being honest. It also does have a Wiccan flair to it that is kind of to be expected of a lot of books written, I would say, before the 2020s. This was published in 2002. It includes rituals and exercises that you can go through yourself, and I've read this once fully, kind of just a skim read, and I will be going back through it on my own time and going through the exercises. And I think the one that I'm looking most forward to is the contact dowsing exercise. I just think that's a fascinating concept and I want to try it out. I want to see if it works. Second book is Life for Sale by Yukio Mishima. If you've been on my channel, I've already mentioned Mishima quite a few times. We're not going to get into my thoughts on him as a person. I've made my stance quite clear on that. This was first published in 1968. The blurb reads, "Gripped by ennui, Hanio, a cocky copywriter in brash modern Tokyo, puts up his life for sale. Cue a comic book parade of vampish femme fatales, one of them a vampire, sinister gangsters and ludicrous plot twists involving death-dealing carrots, toxic beetles and agents of the powerful ACS, Asia Confidential Service. Grotesque, melodramatic, and spectacular." This is such a fast-paced and incredibly surreal book. This is what I believe is a pulp. I actually did not know what a pulp was until now. The only time I'd heard it referred to was in Pulp Fiction, which I had not watched. Actually, no, that's not true. I watched it once, but I wasn't paying attention. This has lovely writing, as always, with Mishima, but also it's just the way he writes this character is so funny, because you can first of all tell that it's written by a man, because every single woman in this book wants to fuck him so bad. And they do. Like, I'm pretty sure almost all of them do. And at the same time as all of that is happening, he's also horribly ambivalent about his life. You know, he gives his life up for sale. He's wishing that death would just take him. And so it's this really quite funny contrast, I'm gonna be real. I find it really funny how much he hates himself, and I kind of like him just for that, because he's kind of loser coded. But also, I know that Hanyo, like the main character, would definitely be the type of character where if a Sigma grind set male read this book, they would be like, oh, that's so me. He's so me. Girl, do it then. Put your life up for sale. This is a pulp. This is a really fast-paced book. It has vampires. It has government plots. It has spy networks. Cuckoldery. Listen, the drama never stops. Like, this book tea. This book is tea. Next book is contained within this book, which is Clarice Lispector's Complete Stories. It is the section entitled The Foreign Legion, but I'm counting it as one book because usually they're sold separately. Let's just pretend this says The Foreign Legion, okay? I'm so sorry if you can hear music in the background. That is my mother downstairs. I feel like if you know anything about me, if you've seen my content before, you could probably guess based on just vibes that yes, indeed I do love Clarice Lispector. Here's my prediction, and listen to me carefully. Clarice Lispector, for off-putting women online who go by terms such as thought torture. Listen, I know I tag my TikToks with that. I don't agree with the term. I do agree with the discourse around it. I do agree with the criticism. I feel like it is strange to put yourself on this intellectual pedestal and basically implying that other women don't think. I feel like that's strange. I literally don't know what else to call it, okay? I feel like she's gonna become the girl blogger's new Anais Nin, and then Anais Nin in turn was like the new Sylvia Plath. All of these authors are classic authors. None of them are truly new, but more so I mean authors that have gained a lot of popularity amongst young women these days. I haven't read any of her full novels, but I love her short stories from what I've read. I've read another section in here, by the way, for context. Her use of language is phenomenal and incomparable. Literally no one does it like her, because the way she writes is she takes the meanings of words and twists them in order to be able to talk about the unknown without revealing anything about the unknown, because it's the unknown, you cannot discuss the unknown. And I'm like, how do you even manage that? How do you even like, how do you write about something that cannot be written about? Her mind. It's really hard to describe her writing style without telling you to just go read it for yourself. My first favourite short story in this was The Egg and the Chicken, which somehow perfectly and with such accuracy describes my simultaneous love and hate of eggs. Because you know when you're eating an egg and you suddenly become aware of the fact that it's an egg, and then you're like, ew. And then once that's established, it immediately veers into the cosmic horror of being a chicken and laying an egg. And then it ties in like themes of motherhood, and no one does it like her. Please read Clarice Lispector. My second favourite short story in here was called A Sincere Friendship. It basically follows a young boy and girl, I think they're both 16, and they become friends because they both feel isolated and misunderstood by society at large around them. At one point when they're walking home, they encounter a really large house, and they are so taken in by the size and the design of this house that they glimpse some indescribable truth. They are so absorbed in it and fixated on it that they momentarily are able to comprehend this truth, and it changes their lives pretty much irrevocably, and it solidifies them in their respective gender roles. I read this as a very rapid coming of age brought upon by this almost divine understanding. To me, this idea of being absorbed in something so deeply reads like quite similarly to the idea of the sublime, but I haven't gotten to grips on that thought yet because I'm not so sure on how valid that is. Please read this, especially if you're interested in Brazilian literature. Clarice Lispector was Ukrainian and Brazilian, I think? Yeah. Probably one of the most skilled authors I've ever read. Go read her. Let's move on to my next book, which is Subculture: The Meaning of Style by Dick Hebbage. This is an academic text about the development and intersection of various subcultures from the 1950s to the 1980s-ish. I would say this is an okay, and with a heavy pinch of salt, which I will talk about in a second, this is an okay starting point if you want to get into studying fashion or subculture. It goes into the assignment of and subversion of signs within subcultures and how that's expressed within fashion and music. It had a really interesting sounding analysis on semiotics. I need to look more into that because if I'm being real, I didn't comprehend it as well as I wish I would have, so I'd like to go back and kind of try and actually understand what he's on about. The majority of this book was quite easy to read if you've read academic texts before. I just don't have that much experience with semiotics as a field. It's never really come up in my studies. On to the grain of salt. I would actually say that instead of a guide to understanding subculture, this would be a really good example of attitudes towards subcultures in the 70s and 80s, late 70s, early 80s. This book was published in 1979 or 1981. I found conflicting accounts. Now this was news to me because I thought this was a relatively modern book when I bought it. I bought it secondhand, I didn't check. I'm actually quite reluctant to recommend this as an in-depth, reliable source for modern day research because straight up contains slurs against black people. Why are we including slurs in academic texts? I don't want to hear any of that sign of the times shit. Fuck off. Onto films. My throat is actually really starting to hurt now. I've been recording for a while. I'm just really slow today apparently. But onto films. First off, we have Nymphomaniac 1. This is directed by Lars von Trier and it came out in 2013. Nymphomaniac is one really long film. It's split into two sections, 1 and 2, Nymphomaniac 1, Nymphomaniac 2. It basically follows Jo, who is our titular nymphomaniac, and Seligman, and this conversation they have over the course of one night where she divulges her life story to him and he kind of reciprocates with his own facts. He basically finds her on the street outside in the cold, basically covered in blood. He offers her a place to stay for the night, gives her a cup of tea and everything, and it's their conversation, and then it like cuts back and forth between that and her history as she's recounting it. I haven't watched the second part of this yet. I will hopefully be getting to it, but on to my thoughts. It was okay. Like, I liked the old guy. Seligman, was that his name? I actually don't remember. I'm really bad with remembering character names in films. I'm fine in books. In films, no. It was interesting for sure, but after a certain point I did kind of just get tired of everyone being naked so much, which is like, I know that's stupid, please don't come for me, because it's like nudity in Nymphomaniac, fork found in kitchen. Listen, I'm not against nudity at all. I love a good psychosexual film. I just didn't really connect with the characters too much. To be fair, not too much hate on Nymphomaniac now because I actually found the plot quite interesting. Despite the fact that I was bored with nudity, the ending had me gagged. I wasn't really engrossed in it and I wasn't gonna watch Nymphomaniac Part 2. I was gonna drop it, but then she lost feeling and I was so invested. I wanted to know how this would impact her life. And so I actually did watch immediately afterwards a few minutes of Nymphomaniac Part 2. I was gonna do back to back, but then it got to the spoon scene and I don't think I've ever felt so much secondhand embarrassment. There was no one around me watching the screen that could have led to my own embarrassment. I was like, oh girl. And listen, no shame to her, clearly she was having fun. But she is also, like, in my mind, God's bravest soldier. I really liked Seligman's character, actually. I really liked how he kind of just interjected and had all these fun facts. And I found the nymphomaniac asexual combo really good. Shout out ace people, that's metal as fuck. Can you tell that I don't say that in real life? Also, just want to say, the song during the montage in the very beginning of Nymphomaniac 1, where Seligman is getting ready, oh, so good. I instantly added it to my playlist. It'll be here. I don't know what it is. I forgot. Second film for this month, which is also the last film because I haven't been on my film grind. So do you know what I've been doing? I've been studying. I've been trying to get a job. Last film of the month is Chocolat, directed by Lasse Hallström. I'm so sorry if that's not how you pronounce it. Anyway, it came out in 2000. Actually, fun fact, my middle name is from this film. My dad wanted to name me Anouk, and then my mother didn't, so they compromised, and now my full name is Annika Anouk Fairwild. Fairwild is not actually my real name. Fun fact, guys. I'm gonna be so transparent. The people love transparency, so I'm gonna go for that route. That's not my real name. But I will never tell you guys my real name because it's boring as fuck and I don't like it. Anyway, yeah, that's my rare middle name reveal. I'll probably never reveal it again. I'm not even French, by the way, guys. I'm like Hungarian and German and like slightly English. This film, I've watched it so many times. This is one of my comfort films because I grew up watching it because of the aforementioned story. Oh my god, the chocolate making sequences, so good. They're so cinematic. I will be drooling the whole time. Call me Pavlov's dog or some shit. Like, I'll be like, it's such a good storyline as well. It's basically about a mother-daughter duo who move into a like quite frigid small town in France and teach them to experience joy and love through the powers of chocolate and indulgence, and it makes it extra spicy because this all takes place during Lent. And also the main character, who is the mother, has this like beef going on with the town mayor because the town mayor is super religious and also kind of uptight because he's being cheated on. He's trying to shut down her chocolate shop the entire time, but the whole community is rallying around it, and such a comfort film. Unfortunately, it does have Johnny Depp in it. Censor that in post. There are themes of religion, love, passion, community, restriction, hedonism, sin, I guess, discipline as well. Just full of themes. This is just such an iconic film to me. I love the opening. I love how they're walking into the town with this narration comparing them to wind, and then wind sweeps open the church doors, and I love the mayor's one-sided beef and the mayor's downfall. So good. Such a great scene. It's like, okay, get it messy, girl. He really folded, and you know what? Good for him. A huge comfort family film. I recommend so much. On to YouTubers now. First off, we have a creator named Jeffier. He does quite a few videos. He does like ARG style things. He does movie breakdowns, SCP breakdowns. I don't think I talk about this very often, but I'm quite a big fan of horror, but not so much horror films. Like I had a really big ARG phase in my teenagehood. Big fan of the Magnus Archives, big fan of SCPs. Like, I'm up for freaky shit like that. I love it. Me and my partner were eating our pasta. We needed mealtime entertainment, and usually we go to like one of our go-to YouTubers. But I wanted to explore, I wanted to try something new, and what a goldmine. I love long form videos. I really enjoy his sense of humor, his creativity when editing. I hugely recommend. All I have to say is we were hooked like 2 minutes into it. The second YouTuber I've been watching a lot is Ivy Corvus. She makes a lot of witchcraft based videos. She has this series on witchcraft basics, I believe, or chaos magic basics, which I went through the whole playlist, which is really enlightening. Big fan of the idea of chaos magic personally. I've found that it really resonates with my own understanding of things, my own beliefs about things, I guess. And she breaks it down in a really accessible and easy way, and also her background is gorgeous like every single time. She clearly knows what she's on about. She's incredibly educated about it. Also, I'm the type of person for like specifically witchcraft videos, if I find one creator who I like and whose views kind of align with mine, I will watch their entire thing. I'm obsessive like that. So trust, I've been going through her videos. These videos are literally all of the videos that I enjoyed this month. I looked through my whole YouTube history and they are being flashed up on screen. One that I want to highlight in particular is Ethel Cain's video on her scent goods, like candles, perfumes, etc. I put this on yesterday while studying. This is like a movie length long video in one take, I'm pretty sure, and it's just like a chat. Like, she's just chatting at the camera about her favorite scents, but the way she describes them is so ingenious. And as someone who's also really into perfumes, I love a good fragrance. Ugh, I really enjoyed that. Literally go put it on while you do something. It's a great watch, great listen, whatever you need to do, go do it. If you found your way onto my channel and don't listen to Ethel Cain, or God forbid you don't know who Ethel Cain is, what are you doing? If you take one thing from this video, go explore Ethel Cain. In the beginning of this series, I used to have a section where I talked about the music that I've been listening to recently, but I cut that because honestly, most of the time when I'm listening to something, it's usually a YouTube video, but I listen to it like it's a podcast because I'm silly like that. I do listen to music, but also I found that I have a really hard time expressing why I like certain things or why I don't like certain things because I was never like raised around music. I don't know anything about music. I'm like, my friend group knows me for the fact that I physically am unable to tap to the beat. I have a really hard time differentiating between genres. Like, listen, if you want music, it probably shouldn't be from me. I mean, I would say that I have quite a good music taste, but I honestly don't know. Actually, fuck it, I'm gonna flash up my favorites at the moment, but you're not getting an explanation for why. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you come away from this with some great recommendations. I hope you enjoyed the video. I love when people watch my videos. Please come back if you enjoyed. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to actually know when I upload. Please comment if you actually go check any of these out. Please comment your thoughts. I genuinely would love to discuss. I love discussing things that I've also enjoyed. Like, we could have a moment. Okay, I love you. Bye.